Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following Canadian immigration, you know big changes are on the horizon. But what if I told you Canada might be entering one of the most transformative phases in its immigration history? That's right, the winds of change are blowing, and this time they come directly from the top. Today, we're diving deep into what's behind these major shifts, what they mean for newcomers, and how Canada's new direction could reshape the future for skilled workers, students, and families dreaming of a new life here. So grab your coffee and stay with me till the end, because this might just be the biggest immigration update you'll hear all year. Let's start with what's actually happening. In recent months, Canada's immigration system has been under growing pressure. On one hand, the country relies on newcomers to fill labor gaps and support the economy. On the other, there's been rising concern among Canadians about housing shortages, healthcare, stress, and job competition. It's a complex balance, and it seems the government is now addressing this with hints at a new, more targeted immigration policy. During a recent press conference, there was an emphasis that immigration remains central to Canada's economic vision. However, there was also mention that the government needs to be strategic and sustainable in managing future intakes. That might sound like typical political talk, but when you read between the lines, it signals a real shift, a move from mass intake to more selective, skill-based, and regionally balanced immigration. And that could change everything. So, what's motivating this shift? To understand, we need to look at what's happening inside Canada. Over the past few years, the population has been growing at a record speed. Critics have argued that the immigration system has outpaced Canada's capacity to absorb newcomers effectively. The government's new direction seems to be about realignment, ensuring that every new arrival fits into a broader, national strategy that benefits both newcomers and Canadians. Sources close to the government suggest that the new plan could introduce stricter oversight of temporary programs, like those for international students and temporary foreign workers. Over the years, these programs have ballooned in size, sometimes overshadowing permanent immigration streams. The idea now is to rebalance to create a smoother transition for those already in Canada while managing inflows more carefully. For example, there could be new pathways for students in high-demand fields like healthcare, engineering, and AI. Instead of everyone having an equal shot at permanent residency, Canada might prioritize those contributing directly to its economic needs. Similarly, the express entry system could see another update, one that gives higher points to applicants with specialized regional experience, or those willing to settle in smaller provinces. There's also talk about the need to connect immigration with productivity. That's a key phrase. It means focusing less on sheer numbers and more on the quality and economic contribution of newcomers. We might see future policies designed to attract innovators, entrepreneurs, and skilled professionals in sectors facing acute labor shortages like clean energy, tech, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. But let's talk about how these shifts could affect international students, a group that has been at the heart of recent debates. Over the past few years, international education has grown into a massive industry. It brings in billions of dollars each year, supporting local economies. Yet, it has also led to rising challenges. Some colleges expanded enrollment too rapidly. Student housing became scarce, and many graduates struggled to get jobs matching their skills. Recent remarks suggest that the government might tighten the rules for private colleges and introduce more accountability. That could mean fewer, but better international students in the future and stronger pathways for those who truly contribute to Canada's growth. Now, what does this mean for people overseas dreaming of Canada? Well, this could be a turning point. While overall targets may still remain high, the composition of immigration could change significantly. If the government prioritizes economic class immigrants and skilled workers, applicants with strong credentials, job offers, or advanced degrees will stand a better chance. Meanwhile, the family and humanitarian streams may continue, but with stricter processing priorities to keep the system balanced. Another interesting angle here is the regional dimension. There's been a repeated emphasis on shared prosperity. That's political language for making sure smaller provinces like Atlantic Canada, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba also benefit from immigration. This could lead to an expansion of provincial nominee programs, giving local governments more power to select immigrants based on their labor market needs. So, if you've ever thought about settling outside major cities like Toronto or Vancouver, The coming years could actually open more doors for you. But let's not forget immigration policy is always tied to politics. With any new leadership, everything is under fresh scrutiny. The approach seems pragmatic, not anti-immigration, but deeply focused on managing outcomes. The goal is to ensure that the newcomers arriving today can thrive, not just survive, and that Canadians see immigration as a shared success story, not a source of tension. Behind the scenes, government departments are working on refining Canada's next immigration levels plan. It's expected to outline not only the number of immigrants Canada will welcome, but also the strategic categories they'll come from. Early leaks suggest that while overall numbers may remain steady around 500,000 annually, there could be more emphasis could go toward economic immigrants, while temporary resident programs may face gradual reductions or more regulation. The big message: quality over quantity. Now, let's talk about the global context. Canada isn't making these changes in isolation. Countries like Australia, the UK, and New Zealand have also been revising their immigration policies to manage housing and labor market imbalances. The difference is, Canada is doing so from a position of strength. It still has one of the most welcoming immigration systems in the world. What seems to be happening is a fine-tuning of that system for long-term sustainability. It's about keeping the doors open, but in a smarter, more balanced way. Imagine this. Under the new approach, someone with an AI engineering background from India or a healthcare professional from the Philippines might find faster, clearer routes to permanent residency. Meanwhile, programs that were previously exploited, like some low-wage temporary work permits, could face tighter oversight. In essence, Canada could be moving toward a merit-based model, one that rewards skill and contribution, while maintaining fairness. But, of course, every shift comes with debate. Critics argue that reducing temporary programs or tightening student permits might hurt sectors that rely on them. Restaurants, farms, and construction industries often depend on temporary workers. Universities too might see financial strain if international enrollments drop. That's why policymakers will need to tread carefully, balancing reform with support. It's not just about changing numbers. It's about restructuring the foundation of how immigration fuels Canada's future. Now, for newcomers already in Canada, those waiting for PR, or currently studying or working, what should you expect? If these new directions move forward, we may see faster PR processing for high-demand occupations, new regional programs encouraging settlement in smaller towns, and clearer post-study pathways for graduates in priority fields. On the flip side, students in oversaturated programs or temporary workers without strong skill alignment might face longer waits or fewer transition options. Let's take a moment to appreciate how big this shift really is. Immigration has always been at the heart of Canada's identity. What's changing now isn't Canada's openness, but its focus. It's moving from a quantity-driven model to a value-driven one. And while that may sound bureaucratic, it actually reflects a deeper understanding. Immigration isn't just about filling quotas. It is about building futures, communities, and prosperity together. So, as we wait for official policy announcements, one thing is clear: the era of unchecked expansion is ending, and a new, more strategic phase is beginning. Whether you're a student, a skilled worker, or someone planning to apply for PR, this is the time to stay informed and plan smartly. Keep your documents ready, strengthen your skill set, and align your profile with Canada's emerging priorities. The system is evolving, and those who adapt early will benefit most. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on what this means in the bigger picture. Canada remains one of the most immigrant-friendly countries on Earth. The government knows the economy can't thrive without newcomers. But the real question is how to make immigration work better for everyone. This new vision seems to be about sustainable growth, making sure Canada continues to welcome the world, while ensuring that housing, jobs, and infrastructure keep pace. So, to sum it all, major immigration shifts are indeed expected. They won't close Canada's doors, but they will reshape who gets to enter, how they contribute, and how the system supports them once they arrive. It's an evolution, not a restriction. And in many ways, it could make the dream of living in Canada stronger and more achievable for those who bring the skills and passion that the country truly needs. And that's all for today. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It really supports the channel. Share this with anyone who's planning to move to Canada or currently navigating the immigration process. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I bring you all the latest updates on Canada's immigration news every single week. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these new directions are fair? Or do they make immigration harder for dreamers? I'd love to hear your take. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.